Good morning, everyone. This class is American literature in the 19th century, and I will discuss Henry David Thoreau and his work Walden. First of all, let me first draw a parallel between Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, Henry David Thoreau was a transcendentalist, and he was influenced by Ralph Waldo Emerson. But you have to understand that there is a difference between Emerson and Thoreau. While Emerson, focused on the theoretical and philosophical part of transcendentalism, Henry David Thoreau applied the concepts and the principles of transcendentalism. And Walden is part of this transcendentalist, thought and transcendentalist understanding. Walden is a pond or a lake, okay, near Boston, and this place is owned by Emerson. Henry David Thoreau goes to this place to live nearby that place, okay, and we will see how he tried to actualize and how he tried to live his life as he describes in this essay. Now, because the essay is very long and I cannot read and explain everything because it will take a long time. What I'm gonna do is to go to the questions on the back of the chapter, on the back of the section, and answer them consecutively. Now, the first question is, it's on page 222. Why did Thoreau go to the woods? I think this answer for this question is at the beginning of page 218, the first paragraph. Why I went to the woods? I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately, to front only the essential facts of life, and to see if I could learn what I had to teach, not when I came to die, to discover that I had not lived. So simply, he goes to the woods because he wants to live the essential facts of life, meaning that he does not want to be corrupted by the society, and he wants to go to nature and embrace himself and enjoy the real life as he described. So the essential facts of life is to go and live by yourself without dependence on anyone else. Now, the second question, what are some ways to simplify life according to the third paragraph, which begins simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. So on page 218, the last line, you see that last line? Simplicity, simplicity, simplicity. I say, let your affair be as 2 or 3, not 100 or 1,000. Instead of million, count half a dozen. Keep your account on your thumbnail. Here, this is very important because what he's saying here is that you have to keep your life as simple as it is. Don't complicate your life. Instead of having millions, keep your accounts on the thumbnail. It means that keep them as small as possible. Don't because this is what they say. They say if you wanna dream something that can be achieved. Okay, so try to be humble and don't over exaggerate in dreaming. Let me continue on the same paragraph. In the midst of this chopping sea of civilized life, such are the clouds and the storms and the quicksands and the 1,001 items to be allowed for, that a man has to live, if he would not founder and go to the bottom and not make his port at all, by dead reckoning, and he must be great calculator indeed who succeeds. Simplicity, simplify, simplify. Instead of 3 meals a day, it will be necessary to eat but 1. Instead of 100 dishes, 5, and reduce other things in proportion. So simply here, what he's saying is that try to simplify your life by reducing the things that you do. Instead of having 3 meals, have 1. Instead of having 3 cars, have 1. Instead of having many kinds of clothes, try to simplify. That's the main point. And he said, our life is like a German confederacy made up of... Okay, so simply this talks about the simplicity of our life. Now, the next question, how does Thoreau regard railroads according to the paragraph 3? So railroads, he talks about the transportation, and in paragraph 3 he talks about railroads. Let's read about railroads and then we'll comment on. So it's on page 219 on the left side. Okay. Yeah. So look at the okay, line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 from the bottom. The line starts, if we do not get out sleepers and forge rails and devote days and nights to the work, but go to the tinkering upon our lives to improve them, who will build roads? And if roads are not built, how shall we get to heaven in reason? But if we stay at home amid our business, who will want roads? And we do not ride on the roads, it rides upon us. So simply here, okay, so and also he talks about roads before. So okay, so simply what he's saying here is that um, that we as human beings we complicate our lives. Okay, now railroads are, as you remember, we discussed railroads symbolize, industrialism, symbolize the complexity of our life. So Henry David Thoreau wants our life to be simple, and he said that why we need to build railroads in the first place. If we stay at home and we don't move, then we don't need railroads. So we don't need this complicated life. Just stay at home, enjoy your life, live your life simple, and you don't need the railroads that you are creating uh, for other people. Okay, so in the next question, in the first paragraph, Thoreau uses the following figurative expressions to illustrate what he hopes to accomplish in his Walden retreat. Explain in your thoughts, your ones, what he means in each case. Okay, so we have 3 sentences, and we will explain what they mean. The first one, to live deep and stack out all the marrow of life. So here, this expression means that to live deep, it means that you have to live by yourself, and and because, as I said and as I mentioned before, he went to a pond or a lake in Boston, and this is like a natural place, and he lived there, and he tried to encounter and live the essential facts of life. So what this sentence is saying is that to live deep, it means that you go by yourself and you live your life without depending on others, and suck all the matters of life. So it's simply, you need to know what life means, not the life that we have now, the industrial life, but the simple life, the life of nature. Okay, the next one, to cut a broad swath and shave clothes. Okay, so I'm gonna skip this one, and it's not required. The next one, to drive life into a corner. To drive life into a corner, it means that to to minimize your life and to keep it very short and minimize until you can control it and understand it. So to drive life into a corner, it means that you have to put life in a position where you can understand it, not the life that we have, which is very complicated and very huge. What does Henry David Thoreau mean in paragraph 3 when he cautions people to keep your accounts on your thumbnails? Okay, so the thumbnail is the finger. Okay, the nail on the thumb finger. Okay, and this refers to the small area on your nail. Okay, and when he said that you have to keep your life on the thumbnail, or you keep your accounts on the thumbnail, it means that he wants your account to be very simple, very short, and short listed. Don't make it huge. It has to be as small as a thumbnail. That's what he means by this saying. So keep your account on the thumbnail. It means that you have to make it very simple and very short. 7. Thoreau makes main Thoreau makes many allusions in these excerpts from Walden. Refer to the footnotes. Name an allusion that is drawn from each of the following areas: religion, myth, or legend, and history. So, what does allusion mean? Allusion here, it's a literary device, which means to refer to a literary, historical figure or a place uh, that happened in the past or that was written in the past. So simply allusions is to refer to something in the past in your text. Now look at the footnotes. The footnotes are the written notes at the end of the each book. Like here, I'm gonna put my phone on the footnotes here. See that's the footnote. Yeah, that's a footnote, and that is another footnote as well. So look at these footnotes, and we try to explain them. Okay, so Kandahar's here, note number 7. He said an Afghani city long ruled by deers. Okay, so what he wants here in the back, he needs a religion, myth, or legend, a history. Okay, that's just a city. Kabla many times here. According to the Hindu belief, Brahma is the creator of the world, which endures. Okay, so note number 8 is religion. Note number 8 is religion. If you go to note number 2 is religion. Note number 4, Homer and other ancient writers. This is a myth. This is a myth. Note number 6 is a history. So that's what they want: history, myth, religion, etc. Okay, so question number 8. What point about art and time is Thoreau making in the anecdote about the artist from Kuro, sorry. So question number 8. Okay, so if you go to page number 219, on the right side, the last paragraph that starts with "there was an artist." Here I put the phone on this here. Okay, so I'll read. There was an artist in the city of Koro who was disposed to strive after perfection. One day it came into his mind to make a stuff, having considered that in an imperfect work time is an ingredient, but into a perfect work time does not enter. He said to himself, "It shall be perfect in all respects, though I should do nothing else in my life." He proceeded instantly to the forest for woods, being resolved that it should not be made of unsuitable material. And as he searched for and rejected stick after stick, his friends gradually deserted him, for they grow old in their work and die. But he grew older not by the moment. So that's very important. He grew not older by the moment. What he means by this is that when you do something, you should not confine that thing by time. Time is very dangerous for us. Time is what destroys us. Now, in order to be perfect, don't let things governed by time, because time what destroys you, time what kills you. So he does not grow, or he grew not older by the moment, because he's not governed by time. He's not controlled by time, and that's the point, or that's the most important thing about this excerpt. So we are not governed by time, but we are governed by, like he's looking for perfection. And if you want to be perfect, don't say I have to finish this in a week or an hour or in a month, because if you put a time, then you will kill your perfection. But when you do something and you want it to be perfect, like this artist, you have to leave it as it is, and you have to search for perfection, regardless of how many years or hours or days and months it will take from you to finish it. The last question, which is, what are the two transcendentalist ideas expressed in these excerpts? Refer to the first paragraph of the reader's note on transcendentalism, 207. So go to 207. Okay, the first paragraph of the reader's note. Okay. Okay, I think the first thing is that Henry David Thoreau, the first one is individualism, because what he's doing here is that he goes to Walden, the pond or the lake, by himself. He lived by himself. He wants to find or meet the essentials of life. So he's an individual himself. Second, self-reliance. He's self-relied on himself. He does not rely on the government. He does not rely on the society, but he relies on himself. So I think these are the main points that he's talking about, and it's the integrity of the individual principles, etc., etc. And that the most important thing is that the truth can be achieved by you as a person, as an individual. You have to rely on yourself to achieve this truth. Okay, I think these are the questions that are related to this article. I hope these questions are answered well. So please double check your answers with my answers, and that's all for today. So guys, also I just want to talk quickly about the presentations. What I want you to do now is to, or you know what, I will make a Zoom for you to discuss the presentations in the future, maybe today or tomorrow, we'll see.